Welcome to the Learn to RV podcast, where road life meets real life.
Welcome to the Learn to RV podcast, Community Spotlight. Today, I am sitting here with Joanie from On the Go with Joanie and Joe, and we're going to have a great time chatting today and getting to know all about them. So, Joanie, why don't you
Hello.
go ahead and take a minute and introduce yourself? Maybe tell us, how long you've been on the road, too.
Okay, so I'm Joanie of On the Go with Joanie and Joe. I am kind of the face because my husband likes to remain behind the scenes. He's never really been into the social media part of it, but he does always give me some really good ideas, and he is interactive that way. We have just officially been on the road about 3 months. We started
Wow.
August 14th. Our house settled August 15th, and we sold it all. We spent a couple of months selling the house, selling everything inside the house, which was quite a project,
Yes.
and or donating, a lot of donating, or we probably put way more into the dumpster than we probably should have.
Yep.
And then we also got a little teeny storage unit, which I did not wanna do, but we did it because there were just some priceless things that you're like, "Oh, what do you do with that?" And the kids didn't want it anymore. So we went all in this lifestyle.
That's
Like,
awesome.
there was no there's no turning
There's no
back,
turning
and
back.
there's no turning back. And here's the reason we got into it really. We had been RVers, well, I should say campers, right? Like, we were campers when the kids were little. We had went through all the stages, we did the tent, we did the pop-up, we did the hard side, we did the travel trailer, until the kids got into sports. Like, when they got heavily into sports, we had to give up the camping lifestyle, because they didn't wanna miss out on going to their travel tournaments. Both of the
Yeah.
kids were highly involved in travel sports, both of well, my son could have gone to D1 baseball, but chose the Navy instead. Our daughter did play D1 field hockey in college, so obviously giving up the camping lifestyle worked for us. Kelly, our daughter, actually ended up playing in the Olympics in Paris, so it was like,
Wow.
holy heck, yeah, like, holy heck, right? So, um, giving up that lifestyle back then was tough because we enjoyed the weekends and doing that. So, always in the back of my husband's head for 20 some years was every time he'd see a camper, he goes, "They're going camping. They're going." Oh, subliminal message for like
Right?
20. So when we knew retirement was in in the picture, I retired from a 35-year, teaching career. I was an elementary PE teacher. I retired in
Awesome.
June, 35 years, and, he's a carpenter, and, he was ready to retire right away,
Yeah.
and we were like, "You know what? The kids aren't coming home. Paul's in the Navy. He's in Jacksonville right now. He'll be in Whidbey Island, Washington, December 1st. Kelly plays field hockey for a living. She lives in Charlotte. They're not coming home." And we're like, "You know what? This is the time to just go for it." And we are so excited we did.
Good. Yes, it's a very exciting time. I remember what it was like when we launched. I mean, it's been about 8 years for us. But it is a lot of anticipation, excitement, anxiety. Like you have a mixture of everything. And
Yes.
I totally get the whole throwing, donating, okay, I guess we have to put a little bit in storage, you know? I will tell you it gets easier to get rid of stuff, over the years, we put stuff in a family member's basement to start, and we had quite a lot more than I wanted to, but we were so anxious to get out there, I'm like, "Screw it, it's just they got the space, it's going in there." And, over the years, every time we'd go back, we'd get rid of more, and I'm like, "Okay, this is easy to get rid of now because you've been away from it," and so sometimes you just gotta do that, you know?
You do. Now, here, I'll tell a funny little story. We
Yeah.
have some inspiration in our lives. My parents have been full-time RVers for 27 years.
Are you serious?
Exactly. They're 87 years old, and they're now part-time. They finally
Okay.
decided that they should have a home base, and so now they kinda do it part-time, but They had a storage unit in my little town for 26 years of that 27. They just got rid of it last summer, and part of it was because they knew we were gonna go full time, so they're like, "Oh, we better get rid of this
Yeah.
stuff now." And I was like, that's why I didn't want the storage unit because I was like, "I am not letting that happen," right?
Yeah. Right.
However, we're gonna see in a year what how that goes.
See
So who
see where
knows?
things are, you never know.
Uh-huh.
That's great. Well, and now, being full time, you can go see your kids, right?
Yes.
And you can go where you want and, be where you want and do things. So tell me a little bit about like what is your plans for the next year? Have you thought through the next year or are you kind of flying by the seat of your pants? Like how are you figuring out your route?
Well, I have discovered you cannot really fly totally by the seat of your pants, right? I mean,
Right.
because, I mean, it is a full-time job trying to figure out where you're going. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, where you wanna stay and what you wanna do. So being on top of that has actually a little been kinda stressful because I've never really planned vacations, and even though this isn't a vacation, it kinda still feels like a vacation. I was never the planner of those in the past, so that part has been kinda stressful and kind of fun at the same time. Like, when you to be honest with you, you score a site and you're like, "Yes, we got that site." Or, like, when you show up to the site we're in right now, it's really all that beautiful, and we're like so not every
Right?
site is gorgeous,
No.
however, what we've discovered is we don't really care about the amenities so much right now that is at a campground, I guess, but what's outside of that? Like, we were just
Yeah.
in Cape May, New Jersey, and we literally just 'cause I knew I had this pickleball girls' weekend coming up in Jim Thorpe, which is where we are now, we just bebopped in the tri-state area, and we're like, well, Cape May is only a couple hours from Jim Thorpe, let's go there for 10 days, why not? And literally, when I made the reservation, the lady goes, this is the last spot in the whole campground." And I'm like, "Okay." I'll take it. Sometimes you just take it. So, I do have planned, because we have a couple things, like, that we wanna do. We are huge, college basketball fans, particularly the women's
Okay.
side,
Yep.
so we are gonna go to the Final Four this year. We've never been able to go
Oh,
to the Final Four,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
So, that's in Phoenix, Arizona, so once we're done Florida, we have Florida until, like, the middle of January, then
Okay.
we'll move over to we'll start moving our way to
Working your way
Arizona
across the country. Yep.
across the country, fill up those stickers in your United States map that I just
Yep.
put on the RV yesterday. It was so exciting. Um, and then because our son, who's in the Navy, is, getting stationed in Whidbey Island, we're gonna be in November with him in Jacksonville. So we'll
Okay,
hang out
great.
with him for, about a month, and then he leaves December 1st to go to Washington State, and then we'll make our way up California, up to Washington for, like,
Cool.
May, and then we're gonna do a little bit of Canada with him and his wife because they are also RVers. They have a little Bambi, like, those Airstream
Oh,
Bambis.
fun.
So he's
Yeah.
already done cross country. This will be his 3rd cross country because of the Navy with his RV. So, we'll get some time with them, which will be cool.
That will be cool. That's great that you guys are kinda doing it as your family. Now your daughter, is she into RVing or
Oh, she really can't because being a professional athlete, you don't
Okay.
have, like she she'll be like, "Oh, mom, next week I have off." "Okay." Like, "Okay."
Right.
When are we gonna have she joins us, like, she's already spent a week with us, like, she had a what they call regen, um, which is their time off, and she spent a week with us back at like, our home in our driveway because we set up the RV for probably a month and lived in it for 2 weeks before we sold the house, because
Yeah.
we didn't have anything in the house anymore, so we just lived in our driveway for 2 weeks.
Right. It's a good shakedown, you
Practicing.
know?
We were practicing,
Yep.
and then she'll, come to Thanksgiving with us. We'll be in Jacksonville, so she'll come to
Great.
Thanksgiving, and then when I called her up and said, "Hey, guess where we're gonna be for Christmas?" Key West?" And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "I'm on my way, mama." So, she was not sad about having that, like, she thoroughly enjoys when she was little and we camped all the time and then we had to sell the RV, her first thing was, "Mom, you just sold my childhood." You're like
Oh, man.
like, "Girl, well, now we're back at it." So she like, when we go out, wherever we are and she has a week off, we'll just fly her out to us and she'll hang out with us.
Cool. That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
it
So
is
tell me a
nice.
little bit, like everybody always wants to know, what is your unit and why did you choose it? Because it's different for everyone. And what's great for you isn't great for someone else and vice versa. So tell us a little bit about your RV and why did you pick it?
I love that question because we didn't just jump into this RV. We have been going to the Hershey RV show for years, constantly looking. And I mean, for a whole good period of time, we were going with Airstream. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because they're beautiful. But they're not function for us. They would not have been functional for full time life. All right. So we were then toying with like the toy haulers and, like we just constantly looked at different things. And the one thing is my husband, the Joe part, he is a fabulous cook. And
Oh,
he wanted counter space and he
yes.
wanted full residential appliances, and
Yes.
like, that part is super important because we are full-time, and I wanted it to feel like a home. I didn't wanna feel like a
Yes.
camper. I want it to feel like a home. Now, um, we got what, our RV is a Grand Design Solitude 310 GK. Zero clue what the 310 means. However, the GK the GK equals grand kitchen, and our
Okay. Yes.
kitchen, it's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Our kitchen, it serves
It's
the
grand.
purpose, like, full-size refridge, 4-burner stove. Joe
Yes.
thinks he's making a turkey at Thanksgiving in the oven, like, he feels it's
Well,
gonna
it's a full
happen.
oven, right? It's one of the
It's a full
it's one
oven,
yeah, so he
right?
can do that. Yeah.
And it's like every time I take people on a tour of the RV, they're always like, "Wow, wow, wow." You know what I mean? Like, they're amazed at, what we have in regards to the kitchen. So Joe really was, adamant about making sure that the kitchen was awesome. We decided on a 5th wheel, because my husband's a truck guy, and he wanted a truck to be able to pull the 5th wheel, and plus he's comfortable towing kinda thing. Um, I call the truck the beast because I went from a Mustang convertible literally my whole adult life to
Oh,
now having to
man.
drive this Chevy 3500. Oh, it's called the beast for a reason.
Now
Um,
is it a dually or is it just a
it
single rear wheel?
We chose not to get dually even though it was wonderful because it was 2 feet longer, and
Right.
we wanted smaller
As
so that
small as
we
you
could fit it.
could go.
Yeah, so we could go anywhere we wanted to go because, as I don't but, getting to state parks and national parks, the bigger you are, the little more challenging it is, to get in places. So our RV is, 35 feet. It's a good mid-size, it's not too big, it's not too small. Um, so that is kinda why we chose this. It feels like home, which
Yeah.
is I think is important.
The 5th wheels do feel most like home, in my opinion, too. We've had a travel trailer, we've had a motor home, and now we have a 5th wheel, and it is by far the most homey, we've had, so I have to agree with that. What is now I was looking through I was peeking through your Facebook page and I saw that you did an upgrade of your own, a modification to your table, it looked like. Tell me a
Oh,
little bit about that
okay,
because
yeah.
we did a modification to our table too. And I was like looking at yours and I'm like, I love it. So tell us about your table. Like, what did you put in
Oh.
and why?
So Joe is a carpenter by trade, like, he was a carpenter for 35 years, and
Okay.
he, was just tinkering around last year, and he made a charcuterie board using leftover pieces of wood that he had,
Yeah.
and people were like, "Oh my gosh, those boards are gorgeous." Well, so then he started a business called One of One Boards because every board was unique, it was one of one.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and so he also made us the table to go with the game that we play
Right, I
obsessively.
saw that. Yes,
We
what's
are
the game?
obsessed.
Tell us.
Yeah, the game is, we call it AC-Doocy, it was like, people think of it as backgammon,
Backgammon.
and so he took the leftover parts, and he made the table, and then he extended the table too with, like, this, half circle just to make the table bigger for us because space and everything in RVs is so important. Um, so my dad was in the Navy, and he taught us AC-Doocy, it's the Navy version of, backgammon, and over COVID, my parents parked in our driveway and hooked up to our 50 amp service, and they stayed with us for 82 days, and I played my dad for
Wow.
82 days solid,
That's
like 3, 4
awesome.
times a day. Well, then when my dad left, I was like, "Thank goodness Kelly was still home," so she started playing me, and then when Kelly left, I was looking at Joe, I'm like, 'cause he wanted no parts of it. And now
Yeah.
he's the one who's, like, making the beautiful table. He made those, little tables on the side of your recliners?
Yes, yep.
You know what I mean? That
The
are
coffee
teeny
table, the end
plastic, that
tables,
yeah,
yeah.
the end tables, and they're teeny and plastic, so he also upgraded those, and they're just gorgeous. He does
Nice.
such a nice job. He has since obviously, since we're on the road, he has 0 desire to do anything with wood anymore because he doesn't have to.
Well, and you gotta have space for all the tools and,
Right,
so
like,
that's an issue
trust me, a
too, but
few of them are in storage, and,
yeah.
we did sell his whole most of his workshop, to a friend,
Oh.
so
Well, the good news is that you'll learn as you travel more. There are some places that you will come across that have a full workshop that allows you to use it, if you're
Ooh.
staying there. That is a
Oh,
thing. Like, they are few and far between, but, like, when you find them, they're golden. Like, for example, there's one in Benson, Arizona. It's part of Escapees. So, I don't know if you're
okay.
familiar with Escapees or not,
Yep,
but it's
yep.
one of their co-ops, and they've got a huge workshop full of tools, and they're like, "If you need to use anything, go for it." So
Wow.
we always keep those in the back of our mind if we have, like, a major fix or repair or upgrade that we wanna do and we don't have the tools, we'll sometimes try to push ourselves towards one of those places, and then we've got the tools we can use, so
Oh, wow. Did
yeah.
not know that was an option,
Yeah,
so
now you can
very
add that
cool.
to your radar.
I will add that to our radar. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Like now, next time if we get to see each other at some point, you'll have to teach me how to play AC/DC. So,
Oh my gosh,
uh,
it's so much fun. It's,
I bet it is.
well, every game is different, so that's why it doesn't get boring, like, it's the roll of the dice, and it's luck and,
Yes. Oh, that's great. So, tell me a little bit about like long term. Like, obviously, you sold it all. You're in this for the long haul. You've got your next year, but like, what are some other big bucket list items that you guys are hoping to do over the next 5 or 10 years?
alright, so that's, like, way past my, attention span, I think. Because 'Cause I'm like, "Okay, I'm just trying to get to the next,
Right.
campground," so
Okay.
however,
Well,
as I said, you do have to plan, in order to be able to get the site. So one thing I'm starting to focus on is looking more into like state parks and national parks because I kind of just been sticking to the thousand trails and trying to get to different thousand trails because of the membership. Um, I want to look to use more of the harvest hosts because those are
yeah.
so unique and those are just fun places to go. But in the long term, you know, to be honest with you, next summer, we have to come back this way because we have 2 weddings. We have one in
Wow.
July in Pittsburgh, and then we have one literally in our hometown in Honeybrook. I said to the bride-to-be, I was like, "Really? You're going to the venue in Honeybrook and we leave?" But which is good because we need to come back because we're keeping all of our medical like all our doctors.
Yep, in
So
that
I know
area.
that's like a concern for people when they hit the road. Like, what are you doing for your medical? So hopefully we don't need anything in between. But we're gonna have to come back to Pennsylvania next summer, so we'll obviously make our way across the country again, get there in time for the weddings, and then that time in between, we're gonna set up all of our doctor's appointments just to have
Yeah.
our yearly exams and whatnot. I did tell Joe because I do love international travel, of which you cannot, obviously, unless you're going to Mexico or Canada, you can't take your RV.
Right.
So I said I would like to schedule at least 1 international travel a year.
Yeah.
Um, so that won't happen till probably next fall. Um, however, I like to explore outside of the RV as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. You got big things ahead. So, okay, let's I want to kind of come back to your RV a little bit. So if you've been in the RV life for any length of time, you know that there is no such thing as a perfect unit. So, tell me one thing about your RV life or RV like that you are like, "Oh man, I just wish this was better."
I
What
got
is that
one
one
for
thing for
you.
you? Yeah.
I got one for you. Yes. All right. So the RV, the bed. Now the bed is super comfortable, like, I guess because we bought this used, so I'm guessing the person before us upgraded the mattress,
Most
because
likely.
our bed is super comfortable, but because it's so tight, like,
Yeah.
making the bed is a workout,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
and the other part of it is I can't get like, I haven't done it yet, but I keep complaining, so soon enough, if I complain long enough the other day I've been complaining for 3 months. Joe, the other day says, "Alright, fine, you can figure out a new comforter," right? Because our comforter just doesn't work, and
Yeah.
it drives me crazy, so, like, we laugh because we've given a tour, the inside tour of our RV to 100 people already. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I go every time we go into the bedroom, I go, "So, how many times have you invited somebody else into your bedroom?" At home, you would have never you would have never had people come upstairs and
Right?
look at your bedroom. In the RV, everybody wants to see the bedroom, right? But I can't the bed just isn't made well. Like, I can't
Yeah.
figure out how to make the bed so it looks presentable for
Nice.
when we have people come for a tour.
Yes, I understand that. Have you,
Drives me
I
crazy.
I personally don't use this, but have you looked into Betty's?
I have heard of Betty's, but I have not looked
Yep.
into it. People have
Yeah.
recommended it to me,
Yeah. I mean,
but
they are great. Like, if I could, I mean, they're just not cheap. So, that's
yes.
why we've never not invested in them. But that is the thing that most RVers go with. Um, Otherwise, we do the whole mismatch thing, and we're like, okay, here's just a couple of smaller blankets. He's got his blanket, I've got my blanket. Then we got a blanket over top, and mismatch. Who cares? Whatever. This is real life. And if people come in and see, I'm like, it's real life.
We brought the comforter and the blanket from our bed from home, and so it doesn't feel like it quite goes just yet. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah, for sure. All right. So we know that the kitchen is Joe's favorite thing in that RV. But what is your favorite thing in that RV?
All right, so, I don't spend a whole lot of time sitting down. I'm a very active person. However, we have these 2 recliners that are like to die for. They are
Yes.
so comfortable. They recline, they have a heat button, and they have a massage button.
Nice.
We're like,
Nice.
"What the heck?" And it's so funny. So anybody who comes for a tour, I'm always like, "You gotta sit in one of these chairs." And then I pull out all the stops for them. And I think this is crazy because in my past life, I really didn't watch much TV, but now we have a little more time.
Yep.
So we're watching, at night, it's 7 o'clock. You're like, all right, we just flipped something on, right? And the recliners are like right on the TV. Some RVs
Yes.
don't have that. And, like,
No.
that part, I was like, "I wanna be straight onto the TV." Like, that only makes sense, and then, I don't know if you can see it I don't know if you can see it, I was gonna move around. We also have a fireplace, which
Yeah.
we never used our gas fireplace at home ever, but this one we use every single day, because
Yes.
it just takes the chill out. Um, I also love Joe got creative 'cause, in our our former home, we had a sectional, like a really big sectional, because we had a home theater, right? And
Yep.
I was like, "I'm really missing the sectional." Like, we just you would sit in that thing and it was just amazing, right? So Joe figured out if you just pull out the couch bed and make up the bed and just stuff every pillow you got in the corner, we now have a
Yeah.
sectional to watch movies.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so that has been something that we've, enjoyed since or tried to figure out since we've been on the road.
That's great. That's great. All right. So I want to wrap things up a little bit, but I want to ask you because you guys are new on the road. If, say, someone was watching this who's thinking about going full time, what is one piece of advice being early in your stage, like in early in your full time life? What is one piece of advice you would give somebody who is working on launching out into this life?
Yes, one piece of advice is gonna be a little tough, but one thing that we found out that you really, really have to be on top of is travel days. Like, setting yourself up for success on, the GPS and making sure you get a GPS that, you can tap into that knows your rig. Because travel days are, I guess, more stressful than we thought they would be. Um, and I've never been so happy on the road to see an 18-wheeler in front of me. Like, do you understand that one?
I totally understand.
Yeah, because it's like if he's on that road, we're golden. Even though,
Right?
we troubleshoot between a couple of different apps, one that is for truckers and then just, you know, Google Maps, and having a good, um, navigation system is and I did do the research ahead of time, through all the various Facebook groups, asking questions on what people would do. Um, so yesterday we had to go through a tunnel to get to Jim Thorpe. And although it said 13.6 and we're 13.5, right? So
My
you're like, I
God.
know, and going through the
You're
whole
like
tunnel,
ducking.
we're ducking the whole time, even though there was a truck right in front of us. We were like, yay. So getting a handle on that and really, I think we really took short trips. Like, we do not plan on doing 8-hour drives. Like, it
No.
my dad laughs at me. He's like, "Really? We did them all the time." And I'm like, "No. 2, 3-hour drives. Like, we're just going 2, 3 hours, stopping for a couple of days." Um, we came like, we've seen what other people have said. We're like, try to stay 3 days, don't drive more like us more than 3 hours.
Yep.
What was the other one, Joe? Stay 3 days, 3 get there
300
before 3
don't drive more than 300
yeah, get there before
miles.
3
Yep.
PM. Like, I
Get there
said that to
before
him
3
yesterday.
PM.
Yeah, I was like, "Woo, we got here at 2:22, yay."
Yeah.
Because it gets
It
dark.
makes a big difference.
It makes such a big difference, so we are really sticking towards that, as best we can, but man, having a good, solid system you trust in your
Yep.
GPS, and
Yeah.
just being
That's
paying
very good.
attention, like, I always say to Joe when we're on the road, I don't fall asleep in the passenger sleep seat. I don't scroll social
Right.
media until the GPS says, "Ooh, you got 30 miles on this road." And then I'm like, "Joe, tell me when there's 10 miles left, then I'll get back on."
That's awesome.
So
That's
that would be
awesome.
my really my number one piece of advice.
That's great advice. Alright, so if somebody wants to follow you on social media, how do they find you, Joni?
Oh my gosh, we would love to have, new followers. I am on all the social medias, or we are, on all the social medias, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Haven't started the YouTube thing yet, but that will be at some point in the future. And it's simply On the Go with Joanie, which is Joanie, and Joe. Simple and easy. We rhyme. We actually did a contest in my personal page before we got started
Good.
for what we should be called because I also thought that would be us. I watch people and I love what people their handles are. They're
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
And so I did a contest. At first, we were going to be pickles and pints because I play pickleball
Pickleball.
and we go to breweries all the time.
Yep.
Um, but then one of my pickleball friends said, Joni, on the go with Joanie and Joe. And I'm like, bingo. Like that was it.
Yes. It
So
makes
I would
sense.
love yeah, I would love, to gain new followers. That would be amazing. Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today. It was great getting to talk to you, and, who knows, maybe we'll have another opportunity to talk again in the future, so
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
please do. I greatly appreciate this opportunity to share something that really has transformed our lives in such a way we did not even imagine. Um,
That's great.
and that to us, we would love that gift to give to others too.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Joni. Great
All right,
talking.
thank you.
Love what you're hearing? Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And while you're at it, leave us a review.